everyone. I am your host, Lorenz and Gabriel, and welcome to the Agora. For our today's episode of exploring the resources of media and information, we will talk about how media and information evolved from the earliest up to the modern type of resources. Today, we invited two honorable guests to share their knowledge with us. Our first honorable guest is a communication studies professor at the University of the Philippines, Diliman, who has been teaching media and information for over a decade. Let us welcome our first honorable guest, Mr. Phoebe Jericho Ebojo.
Thank you, Lorenz. I'm glad and excited to take part in this show.
And joining us as well is an award-winning journalist of the Manila Bulletin and the author of several articles exposing the misinformation of political campaigns, and also who has helped Filipinos enlighten their minds about the flood control issue. Let us welcome the one and only Mr. Razell Delos Santos.
Good morning, viewers and listeners. I am glad to be part of this show and also excited upon sharing insights to our viewers and listeners.
Welcome to the Agora, Mr. Ebojo and Mr. De Los Santos. So, let's get started. As a professor of communication studies and a teacher for over a decade of media and information literacy, what do you mean when we say resources of media and information, Mr. Ebojo?
Good question. When we say resources of media and information, this refers to various platforms and sources.
Mr. De Los Santos, you've worked in both online and print journalism. How do you see the value of media and information in today's world?
Traditional media such as television, newspapers, and radios remain the foundation of credible information. I remember back when I was working on my article, Truth Amidst Storm, during Super Typhoon Nilanda in 2013, our radio partners were our only source of news for days since the power and internet were down due to the said impact of Super Typhoon. That experience reminded me of the power of traditional media. Though it's old, it remained as our only source of information. They may be slower than the current media today, but they offer credible, reliable, and factual information to the people.
The impact of Super Typhoon really challenged our lives. However, due to the traditional media, we were still able to get factual, reliable, and even credible news. It's slower due to the process of checking the contents of the newspaper, but like the saying always said, slowly but surely.
Exactly. Well, even though they are considered old-fashioned, they're still one of the most reliable sources of information. And considering traditional media's impact during crisis, it really is a timeless messenger.
I agree with you, Mr. Ebojo. Thank you for that. But, Professor, how about libraries and archives? Many think that they are outdated or even time-consuming. What can you say about that?
That's a common misconception. Libraries and archives are essential resources of media and information. With my experience, when I was writing my paper on the evolution of Filipino media ethics, I used the UP Main Library archives to access old newspaper, and reading those clippings helped me trace how press freedom evolved after a national law. Unlike many other online sources, libraries and archives preserve verified primary materials. They help us understand how truth is documented through time.
That's a good point, Mr. Ebojo. So, library and archives can serve as our primary, secondary, or even tertiary sources of information. So, primary sources include original documents and records. Secondary sources provide interpretation and analysis, while the tertiary sources provide a compilation or collection of both sources. So now, let's move on to what most people use today, the internet and the new media. So, Mr. De Los Santos, as someone who had experienced both print and online journalism, using only one word, how would you describe the change?
One word, drastically. The internet democratized information. Everyone can now share their thoughts and opinions openly. However, it also opened the gates for misinformation. I remember one case in 2022. A manipulated photo of a politician went viral on social media. Our team traced the photo's origin and found that it was AI generated. I suddenly got an inspiration and turned that experience into an article titled Pixels of Deception, which won numerous awards for digital truth advocacy. So, in conclusion, the internet is a powerful resource, but it demands critical thinking. Can't just consume, we must think.
It's very wise of you, Razell. That's why I teach my students about the digital literacy, the ability to locate, evaluate, and responsibly use information online. In one of my classes, my students had to track down the original sources of viral code. They shared their realization and they said it taught them how fast and easy false information can spread and how vital it is to check context and credibility.
Such a great insight. But beyond this platform, there are also people behind these resources, such as librarians, journalists, researchers, or even content creators.
Exactly. Human element matters most. A well-trained journalist can turn information into truth that serves the public good, and a careless one can do the opposite.
Absolutely. And today, even ordinary people act as media producers, like bloggers, and commentators.
That's so true. But before we end our episode, may I ask for a final message from the both of you? So, how can our listeners use media and information responsibly?
Always ask questions. Critical awareness is the first step to becoming an empowered media and information consumer.
Our journalists never stop verifying. Read from multiple sources for cross-checking, check author credentials, and always think before you click share.
Alright, thank you Mr. Ebojo and Mr. Delos for sharing your experience and real-world experience with us. To our listeners, remember, media and information resources are such a powerful tool. So, use them wisely, think critically, and always seek for the truth. Until our next episode of Agora, this has been your host, Lorenz and Gabriel, leaving you with the quote, stay informed and stay responsible.